Free for all Friday. An actual free-for-all, because I know almost every day has been a free-for-all. What up, Jets Nation? This is Jets fan Ryan calling from Halifax, Nova Scotia. A little tired today given our amazing game ended at 1:30 in the morning last night. Definitely had a nap at 8 p.m. to stay awake for the game. What say you now, Jets Nation? Huh? What a win. What a win for the boys. I got two things to say. One, to the hosts, you guys are awesome, and I think you're doing a real good job of balancing out the emotion and passion of our fan base. Okay, I thought the episode 2 episodes ago was great when we actually dove into the analytics around Hellebuyck. Okay, what a win for Helly. Honestly, even if we don't win this series, I just wanted Helly to get that win last night to silence the critics. 2 shutouts in 1 series, amazing. He's gonna go snag one on the road. In what was a defining moment for our franchise last night was a really big win for the boys. Ferda! And then I would also finally say Jamie Benn getting suspended, man, for that hit. What a grease ball, hey? Can't be doing that. Greasy. Scheifele's fired up. He's coming out angry. He's gonna get some points next game. Go Jets, go. Breathe, Jets Nation. Breathe, okay? We're passionate because we love our team. All right. Have a great free-for-all. Later.
Thanks, Jets fan Ryan from Halifax.
I didn't hear that one. That was, wow. Yeah, that was surprising.
It's a great call.
Checks in the mail, by the way.
Yeah, calling into the Boston Pizza Jets at Noon hockey hotline, open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Celebrate at Boston Pizza, Canada's go-to place for the playoffs. Hey, we're going to be giving away that $50 gift certificate to Boston Pizza today. You're in Halifax. Unfortunately, you can't win. You got to be in Manitoba to win that gift certificate. So, but hey, that's a tight competitor.
And at 1:30 in the morning too. I mean, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of people you could call at 1:30 in the morning in Halifax, and to do it with us,
yeah,
we
they call us.
It.
Really appreciate that, Ryan.
Forche knows about those 1:30 a.m. calls.
Yeah,
the hotline bling with that kid.
Yeah, I'm usually in kind of a bad situation.
Way too much.
I'm usually like, come pick me up, Forche. I need help. Come pick me up. And Forche just goes, call. Who is this? And call somebody else.
Yeah,
I don't know you.
My 1 a.m. phone calls now are, I don't think I'll be in tomorrow. I mean, I know the game just ended, but I felt something in the second period.
Jeffrey Forche, Jim Toth,
free for all.
The Winnipeg Jets extending the series, big win, 4-zip. Satisfying victory, no doubt about that. Sturdy victory for the Winnipeg Jets. A great win. And the series going back to Texas where the big enchilada is there now, Jim. The win on the road. Snap this at 9 game road playoff losing streak now. This is the big test. This is the big one. The Jets can get over this hurdle, bring the series back to Winnipeg. Game 7. Listen, I think I got to give them the edge. I think Dallas definitely has the edge in Game 6. But listen, if the Jets play like they played the last 2 games, I don't see them losing in Dallas. I think they'll be able to scrap out a win. It'll be tight. But listen, I think the Winnipeg Jets can do this, Jim Toth.
I think they can too. And I think a little bit more so than I did going into yesterday's game. Having said that, I was on record saying I think they win tonight. I think it's they need to get some score. They need to get a lead. They did all that. It's the fashion in which they won. And I said that yesterday, right, Cam? Like if they lose 4-1, if they get pounded 6-1, if they win in overtime, if they lose in overtime, if they win 4-0, the fashion in which they do it is what we'll be talking about. So they get a 4-0 shutout in what I think was their best game of the playoffs. That's what Game 6 looms. But when we were talking about having to beat Dallas 3 in a row, which I still think is very, very tough.
Oh, definitely.
I thought they would win this one. I think it favors Dallas in Game 6. And then Game 7, it's 50-50. All bets are off. I'll now lean a little bit towards the Jets in Game 7 if they can get it to that. Jake Ottinger was sensational again last night. And to the point where I thought, man, if they lose this game like 1-0 or 2-0 with an empty net goal, it's all Jake Ottinger. And Nemestikov said this on the post-game shows, on the walk-off interview with Paul Edmonds, Mitchell Clinton, and Kelly Moore, where he said we made an adjustment on our zone exits. So here's Scott Arniel, who goes into a road game and loses. he readjusts the lineup for matchups, and it worked really well. They had their best game of the playoffs up until that point, but didn't get a win. He comes home, goes back to the lineup because he has a last change. The back and forth between these coaches is outstanding. Now, DeBoer is probably going to come up with something for Game 6 on how the Jets adjusted to their zone exits and made it really difficult for Dallas to contain any offensive time. So I love this about this matchup. But this is the test, right? Like, it's not over. To beat them 3 in a row or 2 more in a row is tough. The road game is what it is. So for everybody who wanted Comrie to start, for everybody who wanted other aspects of this game and everything, and there are probably some people out there we're going to find out that want Comrie to start on the road still. I still think that is asinine thought, but fair enough. All opinions welcome. We're just not going to agree on all of them all the time. But I think that this is on now. Like, I think that they can play 2 different lineups in 2 different fashions and have some success. They needed a bounce. And they got one. They weren't getting the bounces so far, and that's how it wrote. But I mean, this was a methodical, even when it was 1-0, it was still back and forth, back and forth. Then you create with your effort. I'm not going to say Dallas took penalties. They did take penalties, but it was your effort in and around that net that created that 2-man advantage, and then they get a goal. So look, if they can play like they have, they've got a shot. And that's all you can ask for when you're down 3-2 going into the road game is have a shot. And if they can harness either one of those versions of Game 4 or Game 5 with their play, they got a shot.
Jets at Noon is brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road. VIP take on the text line and win a VIP car wash from my good friends at Wash Method, 204-780-6868. We'll be giving that away to a live caller on the air. We're coming at you live from the Boston Pizza studio. Celebrate the whiteout at Boston Pizza, your go-to place for the playoffs. Before we go to the phones, we got a bunch of calls already lined up here. I want to fire off a couple of them that called into the Boston Pizza Hockey Hotline last night. This one from Dave from the Caribbean.
Hey, boys. Dave here from the Caribbean, listening to your show every day at noon. I have to ask, with all the MVP chats going on during this game, obviously none of them are your callers.
From Dave? Like you said, Jim, we take all kinds. This was caller Michael.
Fellas, I don't know what you're going to talk about today since all the Eric Comrie should have started guys, or they're going to be pretty quiet, so your phone lines are going to be pretty open. So keep up the good work and go Jets go.
Hey, I'm just playing them. I'm playing them as they come in. I'm not picking and choosing. And here's birthday girl Donna.
I told you guys we were going to win for my birthday! It's great to turn 62 and the Jets win! We're on for 7! It's Donna. Thanks, guys.
62, Donna. Happy birthday.
Happy
Sound
birthday.
like you're 38.
You know what? I might have to make your birthday a little bit happier. You might be winning that $50 gift certificate, Donna.
That's a nice thing to do.
Yeah, you know what? I can't take credit for it. That's all Jeffrey Forche. He was listening and he said, you know what? It's her birthday.
Hotline Bling suggested that.
So congratulations, Donna. You won that $50 gift certificate from our good friends over at Boston Pizza. Michael's, he's fired up too. He says, let's go Jets in 7. This team is legit. Guess what, NHL? We're coming for you. It doesn't matter how much you try and stop us. We believe. Go Jets, go.
So I didn't want to get into the Hellebuyck Comrie thing because we've done that for 2 days in a row.
100%.
We're not going to convince anybody who thinks he should start, and we're not going to convince anybody who, the other way. So everybody has their opinion. That's fine. I just think it's asinine. I do not ask a career backup who has never played an NHL playoff game or gotten a start in one to do something exceptional in a do-or-die game. I ask my exceptional goalie to be better. And he was. But look, nothing's solved here. And I appreciate the calls about Hellebuyck and Comrie and blah, blah. The people that agree with us, that's fair enough. We appreciate that. But now's the big test, right? He's been fine at home. He needs to be like he was yesterday and in Game 2 on the road. That's been his kryptonite. We all know that. So I'm not going to sit here and go, I told you so, or anything like that. You have to start your best players in the playoffs. And even if they're not playing well, you have to keep asking them game after game after game to be better. Whenever somebody loses a game in the playoffs and they make a lineup change, it's never an all-star player. It's always in the bottom 6 or bottom pairing D. Nobody sits here if you lose 2 in a row. Or if you're down 3-0 in a series, nobody's taking out a guy from your top 6.
This is a simple thing to me, Jim, and it sounds ridiculous for me saying it's simple, but they got 2 goals on the power play. Power play came through.
They needed to score.
They needed Connor Hellebuyck to make 2 or 3 saves in what he was making the other games. They did it. They won. This is what they need to do, and they need to do it. They need to replicate this again twice more.
Yes, that's the difficulty.
That's the difficult part against Dallas, a team that has not lost consecutively in these playoffs. Let's take a break. Let's come back. On the other side, we got the phone lines. They are open. We got some callers on hold. Don't go anywhere. We will get to you as we break down the Winnipeg Jets 4-0 victory in Game 5, sending the series back to Dallas in Game 6. Hey, only 6 teams left playing, Jim Toth. And then in National Hockey League, it's a blessing. You're still watching NHL hockey. And let's keep this going. Let's take on the Oilers in the next round.
I've never liked this song in my whole life until right now when we get the hotline Jets line bling going late at night after games. Now I like it.
Drake?
But Drake's not my cup of tea. Sorry. Get off the court. You're not part of the Raptors team.
See, I remember I was when I was trying to be cool, with girls and stuff. I pretended to like Drake.
Oh, don't ever pretend that.
It was so fake.
You gotta be you, man.
It was so phony. It was just I was just
so
sitting there
phony.
listening to it. And I'm like, wow, this is crap.
Yeah.
It's not crap, It's your thing, but it's not my
like when
thing.
an entire generation bought white T-shirts, big chains, and dyed their hair blonde like Eminem. And I'm like, you guys, I like the music too, but you gotta be you, right?
We'll be right back.
Stay true.
Well, Jim, Jamie Benn has been fined. I was not expecting a suspension, but I think that it's nice that there was at least something that was done for.
Did Scheifele get anything?
No.
Oh, because I had 2 Stars fans on social media reach out and said that he punched him because Scheifele kicked him with his skate on while he was on the ice. And I said I didn't see that. I guess we'll expect a fine or a suspension for that.
I believe
kicking with your skate is suspendable.
I believe Mark Scheifele was so justified. I think he went too far, but he was justified to be furious after that went down.
I like Jamie Benn as a player. He's not a cheap shot artist. He'll get in your face and do dirty things, but he's not the guy that. The problem with the punch is the punch is the problem, but the ref was holding Mark Scheifele. There is a code to which Jamie Benn lives by on the ice that when a ref is holding your arms, sucker punches happen, and when you're in a guy's face, you know that you're aware of that. Not when a ref is holding your arms. So I think it was suspendable. I think it's a one-gamer, but we live in the NHL world where they decide as we go. They decide as we go.
Well, you're right. You're right about that.
So it's a fine. I'm actually surprised it's a fine.
We'll be right back with your calls after this.
Hey, boys. Love the show. Listen to the podcast every day. It's Drew, by the way. For some reason, my boss doesn't like it that I listen to the radio. I work over lunch hours. For some reason, they don't like me not paying attention while I work, so that'll have to continue, unfortunately. But this series has been some questionable officiating. You look at last night, maybe Scheifele should have kicked in that goal like the crowd was chanting. Maybe we would have had better luck scoring on that one. And how the heck, on God's green earth, does Scheifele get sucker punched in the face with the linesman between him and Ben, and Winnipeg come out with a penalty kill? That is absolutely asinine. That is what the officiating called. It has been garbage most of the series. I can't believe it. It is boggling. I would probably use stronger language, but, we got to keep it PG for the kiddos on the radio. But anyway, boys, love the show. Can't wait to listen to it later today. Take her easy, bud.
Thanks, Drew. Yeah.
Thanks, Drew.
And it was a shock to us all. Drew, it was a shock to us all.
2 minutes for what? Roughing? He got called for roughing.
Tanev got it one, and Tanev got a misconduct as well.
Yeah, but Scheifele got 2 minutes for roughing.
Correct.
For getting punched in the face.
Yeah, he should not have got that penalty.
And there was also the league has cracked down on having your leg over the bench, and Sam Steele had his leg over the bench. There was nothing there. Look,
Ben went up and Ben targeted him, cross-checked him, and all Scheifele did was respond.
You had a player slash or whack a ref on the leg, and they didn't get a call. It's getting ridiculous. But somebody said, he goes, the officiating this year is blah, blah, blah. And I just replied on the text, this year?
You know what?
Like it's garbage every playoffs, and the Jets just have to take it, right? Like just the best revenge is to win the series, but to get punched in the face and get 2 minutes for it, sucker punched.
Listen, Mark Scheifele was incensed. Mark Scheifele plays the best when he is totally ticked off, by the way.
He's speaking at the airport right now. The media's there, and all his quote is, "My face hurts."
Hey, Harry, thanks so much for waiting for so long. I really appreciate you waiting on hold. What's up? Welcome to Jets at Noon.
Well, I'm just going to pick up on what you guys have been talking about here in the last couple of minutes of the Jamie Benn thing. But I do have, and maybe it's not fair, but I've seen this happen a couple other times, this issue with Mark Scheifele, his reaction. Now, I know it was a sucker punch. I know, Jamie Benn was frustrated. I mean, just like the rest of the team because he played them. And I think it was just sending a message for the next game. The only thing I have with Mark is I've seen this happen a couple of times with Mark during the playoffs, other playoffs. And he just gets this crazed look on his face. So I'm going like, do a Brad Marchand thing. I know it's easier said than done. I mean, the guy punches you in the face while the linesman's holding it. But I just think that with Mark, he should have just, it seems to me like he almost loses control. Like I think Velarde had to hold him back on the bench, and I think even Scott Arniel had to come over and talk to him.
Barron was telling him, and this is just me reading the lips. Right? Yeah, Barron was saying, like, calm down. I know. Yeah. And then Arniel's got to come by. Listen, like, this is just Mark Scheifele. He is an incredibly intense individual. Did Arniel and Barron need to tell him to calm down and slow down and just take a breath? 100%. I'm with you on that one, Harry. Yeah. But I don't want to take away Mark Scheifele's intensity. I don't think that's a good thing. Yeah.
I'm not taking away his intensity, but I'm just thinking that right now, at the end of the game, right, the Dallas Stars are losing. I mean, they're frustrated. Jamie Benn is ticked off too, so he decides, okay, I'll throw a punch at him. Well, I mean, what else can he do? They're going to throw him out of the game, so he got a $5,000 suspension. I mean, a $5,000 fine. Whoopee shit. That's no big deal out of his salary. So, I mean, like...
Now we got to fine you for the language. I'm sorry, Harry. That's $25 in our jar that will buy Cam and I lunch.
So anyway, if Jamie Benn did this to get a reaction from Mark, he got it. If he wanted to send a message to them, he did it. And now he wanted to send a message to his team how Mark reacted. Hey, next game, we're going to get this guy. That's all I'm talking about. Rather than sort of show such emotion, maybe just try to bottle it a little bit.
Well, I think the good part is I get. Yeah, no. Sorry, Harry, we got another calls, but I get what you're saying, Harry.
I appreciate the call, Harry. I got to let you go here, but because we got to make room for other callers. But I really appreciate. Take care. Okay, thanks for the call. Thanks for waiting for so long too.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying, but his reaction, calm down. Don't do anything. Like I get that. I'm okay with it because they won the game by then.
Yeah,
and it won't carry over. If anything, like Cam, I agree with you. I think it'll drive Mark to score some goals and be better. I don't think it's going to be a shorter fuse for him anymore. He's been keyed on all playoffs, right? St. Louis's goal was to make life miserable, and they did. But
Ben did not go after Scheifele by accident.
If this was the second period,
it did not happen by accident.
And they were only up by one, I agree wholeheartedly with Harry. But at that stage of the game, I have no problem with him sending a message of blah, blah, blah. And look, you know why the refs didn't say anything to him or give him a misconduct? Because he didn't skate by and whack him on the shins. He just yelled at him, right?
Yeah, Mason Marchman getting called at the end of the second period.
That's what that does. Yeah, I'm sorry, but you can say whatever you want now to an official. Because if you get 10 minutes for it, you can always say, what are you talking about? I didn't hit you. I didn't slash you.
Yeah. Marchment, at the end of the second period, he got that penalty. The Jets didn't score on it, but they really built momentum going into the third period as well, put Dallas on their heels.
If you get 10 minutes in the rest of this series for verbally abusing an official and whacking one on the shins doesn't get you that, you got to be kidding me.
Marchment is not
It's open season for language now on officials, thanks to Graham.
Marchment is not going to get a call. Not when he's got a big smile on his face and is sort of in a mocking tone to the referee is what I saw. He's not going to get a call. Listen, he needs to take some responsibility because he seems to think that he got off with it for nothing and whatever.
Yeah. But if you get a 10 game for chirping now,
oh no,
what do you think the response is after the game? I guess I should have whacked him on the shin.
Yeah. Hey Dan, thanks for holding for so long. What's on your mind?
Hi. I've been mulling my thoughts over all this time.
Yes.
Good on Scheifele. I hope somebody hits him at the beginning of each period next game. But I think this whole this victory that we've had is just part of the losing scenario. Win at home, lose there. And I must be Canadian. I keep apologizing, but I would say it's easier to pull Comrie out after 1 or 2 goals if we're behind than it is to pull Hellebuyck out if we're 3, 4, 5 goals behind. And that's all I have to say. I hope they win, but I don't know if I have faith in them now.
Dan, what do you think is a more likely scenario? And I really appreciate you calling us in. What do you think is a more likely scenario? That Hellebuyck goes down 2-0 or Eric Comrie goes down 2-0?
If Hellebuyck goes down, he goes down hard, it seems. And he's gone down hard every game this season in the playoffs. Comrie,
you mean on the road, right? You mean because he's got a shutout.
On the road, yes.
Yeah.
And the next game is on the road. I hope they win, but boy, I don't know.
This 9-game losing skid that they're going to try and stop at 9. I mean, of course, it could extend to 10, and it could eliminate the Winnipeg Jets. It's going to be real. This is a real tough game for the Winnipeg Jets to go down there and win. They don't have the matchups and all that. But listen, Connor Hellebuyck he's had 2 shutouts. Right, he's had 2 shutouts at home. Yeah, but listen, he's had real great showings in 2 of the last 3 games. And he had 1 bad goal against Dallas, and that was what sunk them.
This is what I want to bring up, Dan. The record on the road is fair. The stats on the road is fair. But this isn't the fair to bring up and say this is how bad he's played. That's fair.
Okay.
But what's not fair is he hasn't played bad in Dallas. He played horrifically in 3 road games in St. Louis. Yeah. He got lit up last year in Colorado. But in Dallas, it was a 2-2 game till 1 got kicked in. And then Rantanen 40 seconds later was left wide open in front. That's not on him. So that's 4 goals that are not. Now, the first one in game 4 is on him. Nobody's taking that away. But in 2 games in Dallas, he's had 1 bad goal.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about this road streak of his as if he's played in Dallas games 3 and 4 like he did in St. Louis, and he didn't.
Yeah, but we still lost.
No, but you're going to... Jake Ottinger played phenomenal last night and lost.
Yeah. Even backwards, yeah. One thing I can say is if they do win tomorrow, we've got the Stanley Cup. But it's going to be a real tough haul.
That's a big call, Dan, but we appreciate it. But I thanks for the call again, and that's just... Yeah. That's why I'm getting a little frustrated over the past 2 days. All opinions are welcome, but we're talking as if Hellebuyck got let in 7 goals in both Dallas games.
Okay, so the Jets lost.
He didn't.
The Stars lost the last 2 games in Winnipeg. They got beat and shut out. They didn't score. They lost 4-0 in both those games. Are you starting Casey DeSmith if they get to game 7?
Well, the difference is Ottinger's been phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I see your point. Like,
that's the point I'm trying to make. Yeah. It's like, well, he hasn't done well at home the last 2 games. So, Ottinger, we're going to try Casey DeSmith. It just, I think those are, obviously I'm comparing a little bit of apples to oranges, but it's the same argument.
You think if Calvin Pickard gets healthy, the Oilers are going back to him? He won 6 in a row.
No, not now. But,
no, because Stuart, I like the way Hellebuyck's played in Dallas. Is it his best games? No, but he's played well enough for the team to win, and the team in front of him has played well enough. I'm still going with him.
Thanks a lot for the call, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Don't get me wrong. I want them to win, but...
we know that. Yeah, for sure we know that, Dan. Thanks.
Dan, what you're working through is the best way for you to think that they're going to win this game because you want them to win that bad. I can hear it in your voice.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. Let's go to Gil. Hey, Gil. Thanks for holding. What's up?
All right. It just seems there's a whole different temperature this year to the playoffs. In Dallas, those fans were, chanting USA, USA at the end. Wonder what that was all about.
Maybe it was to spur on Connor Hellebuyck and Kyle Connor.
And Ottinger, right?
Yeah.
Who wants to be the number 1 goalie in Milan really bad.
Yeah. Shut up. If I was going to Milan, last thing I'd want to do is be the starter. I'd like to enjoy Milan a little bit.
Yeah.
See the sights, get out, eat some pizza.
Exactly. Every night.
Yeah. No, and I'll even say this, because Ottinger's been the better goalie in this series so far.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean Hellebuyck's played bad. Binnington was the better goalie in the St. Louis games, and Hellebuyck played bad. Like
got two shutouts.
two things can be true, but I don't understand the fever of not debate it all you want. He's a world-class goalie. I'm going to roll with him hell or high water. And they might go to Dallas and lose 5-2. And everyone's going to call in and go, why didn't they start Comrie? And everyone's going to call in and go, why didn't they start Comrie? And I'm going to go, because he's Eric Comrie. Because he's not Connor Hellebuyck.
Exactly.
That's why.
Yeah, that's not up for debate. You got to play Hellebuyck for sure, and he'll have the game of his life. Watch.
Well, you know what? When he's had the back against the wall, he shut the door so far these playoffs. I mean, that's just when elimination is on the line, and the Jets do not have another inch to give. He's showed up, and he's earned a spot to play next game.
He was there.
Yeah, he made some big saves. I mean, listen, let's let Adam Lowry talk about that save he made.
If you do it.
Yeah, thanks, Gil. Appreciate it. Let's play this clip. This is from Adam Lowry talking about that pivotal glove save at the beginning of the second period.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, actually. That was incredible. I mean, but that's what he's done for us all year. At another stellar game by him. But like you said, it's 0-0. We have a bit of a breakdown. Easily could be down 1-0 there. And, gets the building on their feet, gives us some energy, lets us take a deep breath, and we're able to score 4-on-4 not too long after. So, we have so much confidence in Connor and what he does, what he means for our team. And, games like tonight are, certainly the reason why we have that belief.
Yeah, and that's from the captain of the Winnipeg Jets. And Jim, I actually want to say this just for a second here. And if we're getting calls, we're getting text messages about Eric Comrie, starting on the road record and all that, that's fine. This is coming from fans who want the Jets to win so bad that they're trying to figure out how to get through this road game when they're looking at what's happened over the last 9 times, right? And I remember, I think it was David or it was Dan that sent a text message at the end of yesterday's show, and said, he's like, just I get what you're saying, but also what I'm saying is that don't just say there isn't some logic attached to it. I think there is to some extent. There is some logic attached to it, but there's also, I think there's a lot more logic attached to you're riding Connor Hellebuyck. He's the backbone of this team. And if the Winnipeg Jets are going to win this series, and they're going to win 2 more, they're going to win on the road, and then on Saturday, then they're going to come back and win Game 7. They need Connor Hellebuyck to be Connor Hellebuyck. That is the best option they have to win.
But he can't be that if he's on the bench.
Well, that's right. And I don't I don't disparage anybody, because it's just this is all derived from a passionate fan base that wants this team to win so bad, and they're looking at the last 9 games and the last 9 road victories and saying we have to try something to figure it out. I'm saying we got to stick with what wins the Jets hockey games. That's what I'm saying. Let's go to Gregory. Hey, Gregory, welcome to the show. We got to be real quick here.
Jim Toth.
Yes, sir.
Preach on, my brother. Preach on. At the other radio station, I have brung this up many of times, and I'm finally seeing Winnipeg Jet fan nation seeing the light. Bet you are being uber generous of giving him a 1-game suspension. I would have given him 2 because he made a contact with an official, basically.
Oh, the Jamie Benn, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I would say that this fine. That's why I will say this. This is one of the reasons why I basically wash my hands with the NHL, and basically, if I want to get my hockey fix, I'm watching the PWHL or international hockey, because they at least they follow their own rule book.
Yeah, Gregory, I'm sorry, I have to put you on hold there because we got to move on.
Point made, though. Thanks, Gregory.
Point made, I appreciate it. Jets at Noon is brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road. VIP take on the text line wins a VIP car wash from our good friends at Wash Method. Hey, we got a caller, might be winning it the next one we get through. We'll announce the winner later on in the program, live from the Boston Pizza Studios. Celebrate the whiteout at Boston Pizza, your go-to place for the playoffs. And if you missed your chance to get your thoughts on the show today, as we played a bunch of calls, call the Boston Pizza Jets at Noon hotline, open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Celebrate at Boston Pizza, Canada's go-to place for the playoffs. We'll be right back.
Jim Toth on 680 CJOB.
Pre-game tomorrow at 5, puck drop at 7 for Game 6 from Dallas, Texas, as the Jets try and send the series back for a Monday start. at Canada Life Center. Game 7. We're coming at you live from the Boston Pizza studio. Celebrate the Whiteout at Boston Pizza, your go-to place for the playoffs. Martin, we got 20 seconds for you here. Martin, what's on your mind?
Okay, real quick. Do you not insert Logan Stanley into the lineup for Game 6? You put, I know he's not fresh, but you put him in there, and that's deterrent enough because Jamie Benn and others would not want to be like liquefied. He would crash them into the end boards.
No, I leave the lineup the way it is, Martin. I leave the lineup the way it is. They played great.
Yeah, I think you keep Shen and Fleury in there. But hey, do you want a car wash, Martin? You can do a car wash?
Sure.
All right.
And romance.
And romance, too, as well. Martin, I'm going to pop you on hold. You're going to win it. You've won a VIP car wash from my good friends at Wash Method, 204-780-6868.
And I'll leave the phone lines open. We'll get to all your calls. Thanks for calling in. If you want to hang around through the 1 o'clock news, we'll take more calls on the first segment of the Jim Toth Show.
This is an interesting one because it's the long weekend. Everybody have a wonderful May long. Of course, the horrible situation with the wildfires. I hope that everybody can find some time, whatever that means, just to mentally relax and all that, and hopefully watch some hockey, more hockey than just Saturday this weekend. Jim, we're going to come back on Tuesday. We're either looking ahead to the Edmonton Oilers or we're breaking down the season.
Yeah.
Those are the two shows. So get ready. I'm expecting 50, I'm expecting 50 pages on each.
I'll tell you
by
this.
Sunday afternoon.
I know you're busy, but if there's a Game 7, might come in on Monday and do a little Jet Set noon. What do you think of that?
Can't make any promises. Thank you very much, everybody.
We're all day to day. Who knows?
See ya.